Everybody watch what you say in the comments because we don't watch this after. So, but yo, my bro Siva, what's up, bro? Really quick, what we love to do is in the beginning is really like dive deep into your story, right? A lot of us know you as this great educator, right? This saucy man himself, but a lot of us don't know where you came from when it came to like that first job or what even made you get started as an entrepreneur slash day trader. So, yo, I would love to hear from you. Like, what's your story, pa?
Man, where do I start? I know people always say it's always a good thing to know how to tell your story, and I'm still trying to like figure that out because I don't know what I should be saying and what I shouldn't be saying. But I'm 29 years old. Well, it's gonna be turning 29 here. I don't know why I'm always jumping the gun there, but I'm 28. I was born and raised in Canada. I'm now here in Austin, or sorry, I said Austin, Houston, Texas, and I just been moved down here like the last year and a half. But where I came from and all of that, I really started off with doing things that I shouldn't really have been doing for money. To be real with y'all, I jacked cars before. I've sold things that I shouldn't have been selling. Really lived the that type of entrepreneur stuff. You guys get what I'm saying? That's where I really started off with things. It's really because my family didn't really come from money, to be real. My parents both came from a third world country, really came here with near to nothing, and they worked their way up. My parents didn't have an education, and I really grew up in a space where I grew up with cockroaches, I grew up with mice. That was really where I used to live in a like on top. There's like those units on top of like mechanic shops. Like I used to live there, and that's where we had mice all the time and stuff. So, really, really kind of came from that type of lifestyle. And due to that, I got into those endeavors because I wasn't really motivated to go to school, to be honest. And I got in all the wrong type of friendships and communities, to be real. But I don't regret any of it because that really grew me into the individual that I am now. But that's where I really started off with things. I wasn't really too much of a fan of school. High school, I really did the most I can to skip class, did that type of vibe. But then I had to shape things up. Really, where things started to shift for me was, when we bought our first house. I moved out of kind of, I guess you could say, the hood, and we moved away more into like a suburban area, and I was able to save up with my mom, and we bought a house, and that's when I started to really start to shift things. I went to college, got away from those friends groups, stopped doing those things that I was doing back then. But the college route really didn't work for me either because I went for automotive to become an automotive technician, work on cars. I'm still till this day obsessed with cars. But as I went to college, I started to realize I'm not as obsessed in cars to actually fix them. And it really came down to the point where I actually went to go apply for jobs prior to me graduating my college degree. And I was just getting offered minimum wage, which was crazy to me. It's like I worked almost 2 years for that piece of paper, and I'm still getting paid minimum wage basically. And when I was going to college, I was doing full-time school and full-time work. So my current job was already paying me more than what my job that I was going to get with my degree was, which was, it didn't make sense, right? So I ended up actually dropping out of college a semester early because I was like, yo, I can make more money scaling in this company. But that only lasted so long as well. I got fed up of it. I became an Amazon driver after because I could get more hours, more pay. And Amazon was really the tipping of the iceberg for me of kind of my journey of working a job. Because we're being an Amazon delivery driver in Canada, you're dealing with snow, traffic, a bunch of BS. That was really the tipping point. And then, one of my homies that I grew up with, RJ, he's the one that put me on IM and introduced me to Zachary Hogan, which you guys know is phenomenal. Your mentor's mentor. One of my best friends now as well, which is crazy. And once I got introduced to him in 2019, that's when things started to shift. I started to grow the business as well alongside trading. Back then, you guys are honestly blessed now. You have the sniper course, you have so many phenomenal smart money educators now. Like it's crazy, right? But back then we really only had a few go lives to learn from. And that's where I really started things off. And the same story that Kev was actually telling y'all about, when I first met him in 2019 in Dallas, that particular convention is where things really shifted for me. That's when I started to see the vision of trading. I was grateful enough to be able to be there at the trade house for a month, being able to learn under the wing of, Mike Miles was in the same house as Jordan, as Daniel, as, Iffy was there as well. So, just being able to be surrounded with those individuals really started to instill the vision in me. And man, rest has been history, really. Went to London convention in 2020. That's where paradigm started shifting for me as well. 2021 is when I started to become an educator on the platform. And yeah, man, the rest has been history, but it's crazy. Like Kev said, man, I really didn't see this at all. Like, I didn't know these turn of events were going to happen, but I'm grateful. And this is honestly just really the beginning, in my opinion, because there's so much more growth. Like, even in both of y'all too, man, y'all be killing it in the markets. It's crazy. Just now, even seeing the next individuals coming up as well. Like, I've only been doing this for like 4 years, which is crazy to me. Like, you got people like Jordan, like Zach, like Iffy, that have been putting 7, 8, 9, 10 years into this, and seeing where they're at, man, like it's crazy to see where we're gonna be at, in 8 years from now. It's crazy. So I'm honestly grateful. I rep Trade House until the day I die, really. You guys can see I got the hat on right now. I'm honestly just I'm grateful to be here, man. But that's really my story. Hopefully I didn't put any of y'all to sleep, but that's where that's where I really came from.
Bro, that's fire. I didn't know you was a savage back in the day. We really could have been boys
Bro,
in past lives.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I never like, I always kind of feel weird talking to people about that, but that's really where I came up from, to be real.
Nah, bro, that's part of you. That's who you are, man. That's what molded you,
Yeah,
what shaped you to the person you are today. You
Swear.
should not have any shame in that, man.
yeah.
Oh, straight from the mud, bro. That's wild, bro. And you're saying like you've been trading out for around like 4 years, which is, that's kind of like a college degree or something like that, right? Under your belt at this point. So like, how long, I guess, was it like until you got that clicking moment, and everything started making sense? Maybe you started seeing more consistency. Like, kind of like walk us through that. Like, when did that kind of happen? And like, how did that like, how was that feeling? And like, what just gave you those breakthroughs?
Nah, for sure. Well, to be honest, like I didn't like when you guys mean by consistency, like I'm gonna say like actually being consistently profitable, like being able to pay bills, do that type of stuff. I would really say, my second year, I started to see some withdrawals and stuff, but it wasn't really that consistent with trading itself. It really came from certain crypto investments and whatnot. That's what really kind of got me going, because that was the 2020 move that we had in a lot of different things. The biggest things that really got me moving was Sandbox, investing in that token, investing in things like Vivi. That's where I really started to see a lot of stuff. But margin trading, like just trading on MT4, man, that was like in and out type stuff. Like,
Yo, bro,
some
not
months were
gonna lie.
profitable, other months were like, that, like, even still till this day, like, and I think anybody can relate with that, really, because you don't truly, you can't truly depend on that stuff, in my opinion. And on top of that, it was, building the business really helped me as well. I think it was 2022, I believe, is when I hit, platinum 5,000, and building the business really did help me as well. So, that's from that side of things. But yeah, like a year and a half to 2 years is when I started to see withdrawals. you know, 2020 is when I first got funded with like FTMO and stuff back then. And that's when it really started to, like, I started to see some progress. But that first account that I passed, I actually ended up losing like literally the month after. And we all been through that. You know, you pass the challenges and then you lose it and then you get it back. So, you know, I was really kind of going up and down in 2020. But, you know, I would say in 2021, going into 2022, that's when really things started to be more progression. And then, you know, here we are now, man. Like, this year's just been crazy. Like, I've really been focusing on this year on OPM and stacking accounts at this point. You
Mm,
know,
that's
obviously I
dope.
can't be speaking about certain brokers and stuff on here, but you guys get what I'm saying. You know, taking advantage of other people's money, man. It's, you know, I think it's honestly powerful, especially, you know, when we first started in like 2019 and stuff, like prop firms really weren't that big. You know, FTMO was really the only one. Now there's like so many different choices. So, you
Abundance
know,
now.
it's honestly powerful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, not gonna lie, you were like one of the very first people I saw actually get funded back in like 2020 when like honestly, bro, I wanted to say like Trade House really I think made it like put prop firms like out on the map. 'Cause I didn't really see many funded traders until like they started popping in within Trade House and stuff. And I think what you touched on was really key about diversifying your income and not solely depending on just trading as your, you know, just only source of income. You know, definitely, you know, get your credit up, fam. You know, if your credit score looking like 420, you should not be blowing that 420. You feel me? You guys should be focusing on getting that credit because that's really key as well. And like just diversifying. In crypto, man, I kind of want to get into a little bit of crypto. Like, what do you currently think you know, the state of crypto is at right now? You know, what do you think like the next bull run is gonna be? Like, how should people be positioning themselves? Because no, crypto is a blessing, man. Not gonna lie, last bull run definitely blessed a lot, man. And you know, I want to really make sure we can get as many people, you know, in front of this next wave. So, you know, where are you kind of at with cryptos right now?
So the last bull run to me, because, you know, I know you too, Kevo, like, you know, you've been here for a good bit as well. So it's like, for me personally, the last bull run and even like where we were at the low in 2020, and then, you know, things went up in 2021 when we are at the high. There was a lot of lessons. You know, there were things that we profited on, but it was really major lessons. Lessons on shit. I should have held this one thing that I should have not let go of so early. I think, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda there. And there was a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas with I should have pulled everything out, you know. And it was, but that's the thing though, like having those lessons this time around has prepared me better, right? You know, being able to, like, back then as well, when I hit P5K and stuff, I wasn't really the smartest with my money, to be real. Like, I still had the old spending habits that I had. Um, you know, I always, you know, the philosophy I kind of lived by back then was, oh, I have money in my bank account. Okay, let me go spend it. You know, I'm not the man to buy a lot of shoes. I'm really the electronics type of person. Like, I literally have like I just got like four more monitors. You know what I'm saying? I gotta upgrade the PC again because for the four more monitors, I got a new graphics card, but my case isn't big enough, so I gotta upgrade. Like, that's the type of stuff that I was kind of doing back then too. Um, you know, like, my spending habits weren't the smartest. But this time around, you know, when we had our lows back in, you know, some really depends on which coin we're talking about here, but from the summer up until November, December of last year, that's when I started to average back into certain cryptos because we're at the low. Um, you know, we had technical signals to buy, in my opinion. We also had fundamental reasonings as well, like Jim Cramer and stuff coming out and saying he wouldn't invest in a million years, and that was literally the bottom that we currently are experiencing. Who knows if we're going to dip lower than 16K? That's still, you know, it could be on the table. But where I kind of see everything at right now, you know, I'm really in a phase right now of stacking cash. You know, I did average in last year. You know, I took some profits out. I took majority of profits out because I just wanted to have more cash to then play again. And that's kind of the headspace I'm in right now. I think crypto is going to be in its boring phase at the moment. I think there is possibility of us seeing a little bit more upside, but I think overall, we're kind of doing what we did back in like June, so if I were to even like pull up a chart here real quick just to kind of give you guys an understanding. Let me just pull up the actual chart. I lost my Zoom window. There we are. So I think we're in this part of crypto right now. Back in 2019 when we were starting to top out, this is what I'm kind of seeing. So, we kind of see upside, but I think, it's going to stall out around this. I know this is a massive range area here, but around the 30 to 40s. And I think we could possibly see, that dip back down. If this is the low, if this isn't the low, I think, we would just then go straight down to like 10, 8K. I still have this stuff jotted down here. This is when FTX collapsed. This is when Jim Cramer said its thing. This is when the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed and stuff. So, I did average in, things on the right here. These are the main things that I'm still kind of holding, and I TP'd on some of them, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, I didn't really hold too much ETH. It was more of NFTs, STX, Matic, XRP, Sand, Gala, and XDC. Those are kind of my main holdings that I have because I didn't want to spread myself thin on too many things. But, I TP'd on a lot of these, not fully, I secured some of the bag. And it's because, we saw a solid move, on some of these cryptos, 100%, 200%, things like Matic, depending on where individuals were getting in back then with us when Jordan was calling these lower levels, I was like 40 cents averaging in, and, we saw upwards of price of almost $1.50. So, I feel like there was a lot of money on the table there, but that's what I mean. Like even things like Matic, I think we're going to still inevitably come lower, down into these lower areas where we have imbalance, where we have equal lows. So I think we're just in that boring type of consolidation phase when it comes to crypto at the moment. So I'm really in the mindset of stocking more cash right now, and really being ready to buy again once the opportunity is right. But, took a nice piece off of the table, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what's good. And kind of looks like you have the same kind of idea here.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to share this, bro, because it's wild, man. We've had this like basically I haven't even touched this, bro, since last year whenever I made this thing. But bro, it's crazy. It's playing out like very similarly. And I agree with you. I think we won't see the bull run until 2024 after the Bitcoin halving.
Having and stuff. Yeah.
So ideally I would like to see it test these lows again. If not, dude, if you get a sweep like that spring, even better, man. Like I'm putting the house. Sorry, like selling the house. Going all in. I'm either gonna make millions or be homeless, but you know.
No, I
But
see you on that, man. So,
yeah,
for
same
the
kind of
individual
vibe.
that's asking in the chat as well, like it really depends on what your, so, to answer that question, it really depends on what your cash flow is. If you have good cash flow, you got money coming in on a month to month basis that you're able to DCA every month, then, by all means, you could do that. For myself, depending on what the asset is or whatever, like I always have stuff left aside to DCA into things if I need to. If there's an opportunity that comes, then I'm gonna get in. One of the coins that I did get in recently, and this was, a project that, I bought a lot of NFTs in. I posted this everywhere, really. The Plague NFT, they ended up releasing their liquidity pool for their coin, which is FRG. And, I did end up buying some of that, because it was at, when the opening price was 1 cent, it went up to almost like 6 cents and then retraced back to 2 cents. So I grabbed some of that. So, I don't want to put out the wrong idea of I'm not buying anything, but it's more of I'm waiting for the right price levels to enter. But overall, just looking to stack more cash is kind of the mentality that I'm in at the moment. Cause like I said, I don't have, like 20 grand in freaking cash flow coming in right now where I can toss, 2, 3K a month. Like just being real with y'all, that's kind of not the intention that I have at the moment. You know, it's more of, all right, let me stack what I have. So once price levels do come lower, which I see them, you know, like you even showed there, Kevo, you know, there's imbalances lower, there's liquidity levels. So it's just really being patient, in my opinion. But that's kind of where my head's at.
That's fire. And it's, I kind of want to dive deeper into that, bro. Like, obviously being on the topic of money and how you said in the beginning, even when you were touching P5, residuals, you didn't have the best spending patterns. For a lot of people coming into this space as traders, some of them may even their spending patterns may very well reflect how they trade. They come from a place of lack or a place of greed. So did you notice that in the beginning with your trading, or you just kind of like put two and two together, like, oh, it's stemming from here? And if so, how did you kind of more or less grow out of that? Was it, PD within the company? Was it on your own time? Or was it just like, reviewing your journal, your trading plan, and seeing that, oh, this is where all my losses are stemming from: emotion, lack, XYZ?
Bro, that's an amazing question. And I truly do believe your spending habits have everything to do with trading, because trading is money management at the end of the day, right? How are you entering in the market? Are you entering based off your edge? Are you just FOMOing in? Did price leave you behind? Or, and I truly believe that you get better in trading, overall your money management will become better. And I've seen that in myself as well. Like you said, bro, like in the beginning, when I first started hitting ranks and stuff, my spending habits weren't the greatest. Like I saw residuals as extra income. So I was like, oh, okay, well, if I want certain things, I'm gonna go get it. And I said that in quotations because I truly don't believe you need to buy a want. Needs are important. Needs like water, food, shelter, stuff like that is needed. But, I was spending money on wants. So over time, yeah, like when I first started trading, bro, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was blowing accounts. It was all of us. We were all blowing accounts. My risk management wasn't there. I was over leveraging on the wrong trades. I would under leverage on the wrong trades. And yeah, like you said, bro, like progressively as I started to grow, I started to journal and start to see where was I making certain mistakes, right? Where am I, like you said, where's the lack, right? Where am I lacking certain things? And that's when I started to notice where, I would consciously, have certain setups, but I would enter too early. So it messed up my risk, because you guys all know if you don't, so everybody always draws their their entry, stop loss, and TP, but half of the time people aren't actually entering where they're supposed to enter. They might enter early. They don't even set a limit sometimes, so you're not getting that precise R to R. And that's what I started to notice over time is, if I just worked better on my entry tactics and my position management, I could then get those better R to Rs. My overall trading equity curve would be going up. And that's why even now, I'm not saying I'm a flawless trader, but if you were to compare my FX book now compared to what it was in 2019, for sure, the drawdown limits are less. The loss amounts are efficient. Like my losses are generally either the same or they're less. And what I mean by that is, I'm actually taking my actual risk every single time. Whereas before, when I first started, I would have like a big loss, small loss, a massive loss that makes no sense. Like, why is that loss not the same to the other one? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it was. So I started to progressively start to realize those things that I was doing. And like you were saying, man, like that really started to then reflect into my day-to-day life too, because as I worked more on my money management, even my day-to-day on how I do my shopping or how I spend my money and I need certain things, like these monitors right here, I didn't buy them brand new. I went on my Facebook Marketplace. I saw an individual on there. He gave 4 monitors plus a stand, all the cables and everything for $200 or $250. I'm like, yo, that's a steal. If I were to go to Best Buy or Micro Center or whatever, I would be spending like probably $80 a monitor, $60 for the arm. You know what I mean? So I started to then like even my spending on a day-to-day, I shifted it. when I first started with the company and stuff as well, and I was hitting ranks, yo, I was buying clothes and shit all the time. Now I'm like very minimal with that. Like I bought all that stuff before. I don't need anything anymore, so I'm not trying to buy more clothes.
Yeah, you
You
got it
know,
out of the
because
system early.
yeah, it's like, yo, I'm gonna crush like 7 figures first, and then I'll go drop a bag at a whatever store. Um, I have like 3 pieces of designer. I honestly, to each and every single one of y'all, I kind of regret I purchased all of those because I could have put that into something else and made more money. But it's all lessons. You know what I mean? Like, let me rephrase that. I don't regret it, but it was a lesson to me, right? Because now I got smarter with my money because, when I bought my Versace shoes for like $1,000, I'm like, yo, I could have put that into crypto. You know what I mean? And I could have bought 4 pairs of Versace's technically, you know what I mean, with the gains. So it really started to divert the way I was even spending my day to day, and how I move overall, right? And how I move overall, because now, like, even when I buy food, I look to buy at a deal, like, even now, like, I've been really on the hunt to buy rice in bulk instead of, because I don't eat white rice. I eat like wild black rice, and just buying like the 1 pound bags is like $10 at the store. But if I buy like a 50 kilo bag for like $200, I'm going to be saving that extra $5 every single time I would go to so like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I'm really doing the best that I can now to really stretch my dollar per se. And that was honestly due to trading. That money management inherently is making me think smarter, right, with my money.
I like that, man. Not gonna lie, I'm just like you. I'm very, very stingy. Like I hate spending money, bro. But I've kind of recently changed that relationship with money. Bro, I would not like to spend anything. I want to save every penny I can. But now I'm kind of like a little loosened up. Like obviously I spend it responsibly, but like you got to treat yourself here and there, because money is just energy, comes and goes, right?
Facts.
Let's say though, fellas, stop spending so much money. Stop blowing the bag on the ladies, right? Stay focused, kings. Guys, inflation is up 15%, man. That means your dates are up 15% more, man. So if they're not bringing 15% more value to the table, I know I'm just playing, but anyway, um, that's some real game though. Not gonna lie,
No,
but
bro, it's a fact. And and here's the thing, to be real with y'all, that's why I'm honestly grateful for my girl, because she understands that. She's more about, babe, save the dollar so we can go travel somewhere instead of trying to buy me a Gucci bag.
take
Or,
notes.
like, save your bread and invest so in the future we could just be traveling month to month instead of buying me that Michael Kors or whatever. Like, and I'm grateful for her for that,
A real
and
woman.
honestly, we don't even eat out, bro. Like, the last time I actually went to a restaurant, I don't even fucking know, to be real with y'all. Like, I'm grateful that she cooks literally a meal for me almost every single day. Like, and I truly believe that that's the type of queen that Mandem need to be looking for, because if she's out there rinsing your bread, she's not worth it. If she's out here not understanding your financial situations, it's not worth it. You know, you're and honestly, I want to touch on this if you guys don't mind. I honestly believe that your partner is the single most important thing a part of any man's life. Even if you're a woman, your man is probably the single most important part of your life as well. But you, as a man, you need to be very, very smart about who you choose to be your girl, because that girl can dead ass make or break you. No cap. Like, this is one of the main reasons why a lot of men end up in a rut, because their woman does not motivate them, not even motivate them, but they don't support them in the way they're supposed to be supporting them. And instead they are almost this is probably the worst word to use, but they're succubuses instead of actually being the individual that's supposed to be there to motivate you as a queen, be there to support you in your rough times, you know? And that support is so important. And if you don't see that in your woman that you are even currently with, and I'm not trying to be like arms in any way, but maybe that's not the girl for you, right? And I've seen a lot of people make that change in their relationship, and I've seen them grow. So, really, like, Mandem, be careful who you call that girl or that queen, because she can dead ass make or break you.
Nah, that's
Nah,
dead ass wise. Yo, y'all better.
this is really turned into like a podcast, bro.
No,
It's
that,
like,
and I ain't gonna hold you like that. Or Siva, you really like on point with that. Because in the beginning, when I first started off this day trading thing, like I really had an ex at the time where I told her like, "Yo, I'm getting into day trading. I'm hella excited." Like, da 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 da. First thing she said to me was, "All you gonna do is lose your bread." And I listened, and I
nah,
stopped. And it was the way I could have really, but it's okay.
nah, bro.
We have to drive them at the end of the day. But that is so true,
You,
bro.
you know what we do to that?
She belongs to the streets.
Shit, man.
Straight. No, that's fine. I totally forgot you had that
Belongs
side.
to the- Nah, respectfully though, you stay focused. At the end of the day, like
And
my
and
what
and
I
here's
want.
the other thing.
Go ahead, go ahead.
One last thing I wanted to say too on that. I also, even if you don't want to wife her up, if you don't want to do that, you still shouldn't be smashing that. It's not worth your energy. So even if y'all are just doing that for between the legs, you still shouldn't be doing that. I'm just being real, because
really
now you're
coming on.
wasting that energy, because sexual energy is the most powerful energy. And if you're sleeping with somebody that you genuinely don't have feelings for, you are just draining your energy as a man.
You know
So
what's
just being real.
my new philosophy or ideology, whatever you want to call it, is because bro, I'm with you right now, bro. Like I am protecting my energy. I'm harnessing that sexual energy towards, productive things, right? And like lately I just been like, man, like I don't wanna sleep with anybody who I don't even see myself having kids with, because I've seen so many, MFers out here, end up knocking up their side chick. They end up, that they be the person that the sneaky links that they don't want anyone. And it's just sad, bro. Like seeing that, like they accidentally did that. So it's like, yo, protect your energy, right? You're more valuable when you're not just putting yourself out there like that all the time, man.
Testosterone is honestly so powerful. And if you release it, you are actually degrading yourself as a man. Remember that, and I don't want to get too like nitty gritty here, but like every time a man ejaculates, and you're letting go of life source. So you got to be smart about how you're letting go of that, because that's the energy that makes you a man, right? So if you just letting that out, and this is not just to women, like if you're jacking off and shit, you are releasing the single energy that makes you a man, right? And I'm saying this because before I met Kat, I was abstinent for a year and a half. And that year and a half is when I started I hit ranks, I got funded, and all of that. So think about it. I did not sleep with anybody or do anything for that year and a half. And my testosterone levels were out of the roof. I was determined. Think about it. When a man has his testosterone fully harnessed, he will go in a straight line to his goals, because there's nothing stopping him. And that's how powerful that really is. My bad if I got too personal there, but I'm just being real with y'all.
Yo, man, the less you jack off, the more take profits you'll hit.
That's it. That's it. Right? That's the
Yo.
secret. And that's the world's
So
strangest secret.
You gotta put
No,
that
but
on a
this
shirt.
is the type of shit that, like, this is literally the stuff Andrew Tate talks about. If you guys don't know who Bedros Keuilian is, another alpha male, like, y'all need to be listening to these people, because this is what they be saying. And it's crazy because, like, I didn't even know the abstinence shit was real until I did it myself, and I read something about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went abstinent, I think it was for like a year and a half or 2 years before a fight. And bro, this man knocked the man out in one punch in that fight.
I believe it.
He bodied him. So I'm like, yo, if this man's able to body a man, like, what am I going to be able to do?
Out of the market, nigga. That's what.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. And that shit blew my mind. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take advantage of that. And this isn't just for men. This is for women too, right? Women, y'all have that amazing creative energy, and it's the same thing, right? Obviously, not the exact same because male and feminine energy are different, but it works the same way for a female as well. So y'all got to be careful with that.
Swear. Nah, I swear. Damn,
Money
money heist
energy.
is a life heist. That's what this shit is. Man, that's sauce right there, bro. We appreciate it. Women really, they creatures of divine.
That's a whole, bro. That's a whole another bag opener. Like the whole feminine, divine feminine energy, masculine energy. Even the whole how the agenda nowadays they're trying to make men less masculine.
Bro, the feminist agenda is just it's actually messed up. They're like fooling women. Like I honestly don't want to get into it too much, but like it's honestly kind of messed up because I've nothing wrong with the girl trying to get in her bag, but if you're only about your bag and you're not even trying to nurture or grow your own family or something like that, like I feel and I've listened to this and I've also had conversations with my girl about this too, and it's like it's crazy because you really got to think about it that their whole agenda is to shift everything really with this whole transgender movement shit that's going on that's messed up. Like that's literally them demasculizing men and making women more masculine, and that's what feminism is. It's making women into trying to make them into men, trying to make them
girls.
do like I have nothing wrong with the girl chasing her career, but if you're not trying to be that woman for a man as well, like that's kind of messed up, and that's how they're brainwashing females right now. It's so messed up, right? Like I think that's honestly like this has been a thing that's been bothering me because like the whole transsexual bullshit, like that shit is like honestly messed up. Like I don't even know what to say about it. It's crazy how much they're pushing it. And if you actually go and like, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but if you guys actually go research where the money that went from Black Lives Matter, and there's actually a documentary on this, you'll start to see they actually flooded all of this money into all of these different clubs and programs that you guys are seeing where they're pushing out this whole, transgender movement. That's where all this money is getting funded into, that $800 million that they can't find out. It's crazy.
Who funded that? George Soros funded that, right?
Yeah. He funded
Crazy,
the last movement too.
800.
That's wild, man. But yo, we could talk about all these. There's so much to talk about in this world, bro. I swear. But since this is Money Heist, man, we do need to get on the charts. We do need to see, what's cooking, right? So we don't have too much more time. But yo, Siva, is there anything you're currently looking at, any setups that you got cooking up, bro?
Yo, for sure. We'll get into it. I always like going down the rabbit hole conversations, It's always a vibe.
I can do that all day.
But like Caesar was saying, life heist, money heist. I truly believe that you need to have both sides of the table really in. The only thing I've been really got my eye on, and honestly, I'm kind of salty I got hit out of this earlier today, but it's really USD CAD. I think we're gonna get re-entry opportunities on this as well. So, I'm really looking at USD CAD because, we're seeing a lot of buy volume divergence, in my opinion. If we even look at the last previous candle closure, I think Iffy's on here too. And, my boy's in this and he refired again. But, today, even for NFP, or sorry, not NFP, my bad, FOMC and stuff, if you guys were on my Go Live and whatever earlier today, we were looking for shorts off of this area. We were looking for the add-on here, and we were looking to run this down. Now, price did end up coming back up and filling all of this, but, with how price is moving even right now, even in this next hour and 3 minutes, we're getting a solid bearish 4-hour candle closure. So, tomorrow and really going into Friday as well, depending on how price prints, I would really like to see a continuation. If we get a retracement tomorrow, I'll be looking to add on to continue taking this lower, because yeah, I can't see past these equal lows. I really think that we're gonna get that. Oh, if he is still in here. Yeah. So yeah, that's what this is. The real thing that I got on my mind right now is USD CAD. I did take the shorts today, and then I TP'd in here once the 5-minute started breaking higher. Like, I really didn't like this candle close and how we came back in here and started moving higher. So I did close majority of my positions in here. And then once we came back, I did attempt to add in here, and then things were playing out, and then it came back and hit me out break even again. So, it's like Vargas says sometimes, when the market hits you out, you just got to get back in. All right. So, I got to get that shirt, no cap. But that's kind of what I'm looking for moving into these next couple of days. If we really look at the calendar too, we have a lot of CAD news coming up on Friday and whatnot. So there is going to be room for us for reentries. I don't know if we're going to get it tomorrow or Friday. But ideally, I think we would get it tomorrow, some sort of retracement going into London, New York. And then ideally, target would be these 4-hour lows that we have, and possibly lower into this daily range. It really depends on what it wants to do. I still have, I'll leave a very small portion to attack these weekly lows, but it's really going to be dependent on what dollar and oil does. If dollar's really coming down into the zone we've been anticipating as well. We got a little bounce from that area, but I think dollar's overall objective is going to be to come below these lows, right? We had a nice run up. We swept liquidity. We respected this previous candle, and now we're trading lower. So, it really depends on what this does as well. If we get a slight retracement from here, I think that would add more confidence for me for USD CAD, and then we can continue taking this down to attack these lows. So that's, one thing you guys can watch on CAD. And to strengthen the CAD bias, I would like oil to go higher as well. I was honestly debating today just to take an entry off of the hourly, because I did end up playing inside here on the 15-minute. Or sorry, it was the 5-minute. I attempted to play right in off of here. As you guys can see, market did end up coming back. But, market opened here. We ended up still respecting inside that 1-hour range. Right? So this was the imbalance that I was looking at. So we traded a bit lower into that imbalance. Right? Literally nicking the bottom of that. Right? Coming a bit lower. And now we reacted higher. So I really want to see what oil's going to be doing here too. If we see any more signs of accumulation, this is kind of very ugly price action wise, but if we've now ultimately seen, 15 minutes start to break higher. So maybe tomorrow alongside with UCAD, if it gives a retracement, we could be looking for 5 or 15-minute breaks in these areas to continue taking this up. And this would add more confidence to UCAD as well. But sometimes oil does lag, so just keep that in mind. But these are kind of the two main things on my radar. And, it's really a seasonal thing. Last time we were buying oil, we were buying it down here, right? And then, we sold it above the daily highs, and now we did that solid, almost an 886 retracement. So I think that, due to seasonality and all of that, if we just pull it up here real quick, really thinking about it even on a fundamental and supply and demand point, generally this time of year, considering we're into spring, some areas are in summer, we're really ramping up into more individuals being outside, going out, countries like Canada are getting out of hibernation, more oil consumption overall in our cars. More people are going out, so there's going to be more oil required at restaurants. There's going to be an overall more demand for oil this time of year in general. So there's a seasonal aspect to that as well, but really want the technicals to line up with that. I really personally like using a lot of things in confluence when I take these longer term positions. because that's the same reason why, I was buying USD CAD from down here, right? From down these areas, right? If you guys have been following along with the go lives these past couple of weeks, we were buying UCAD to TP them up in this blue box. And now that we made it here, now I'm looking for the shorts to come back down. So that's kind of where my head's at with CAD. Other than that, I'm really keeping my eye on Euro as well. But this one, I just want to see price develop more. I think we can get a short-term sell-off above these highs, possibly. But it is really going to be dependent on dollar. How is dollar going to react below these lows, right? If dollar gives us a solid accumulation or something to give signs of buying here, I will then look for Euro shorts. But I don't have exactly something cooking up for this yet because I need price action. But I think we could get a short-term sell. And, inevitably I would be looking, depending on what dollar then continues to do, if we're going to get a new higher high possibly or not. Because, honestly, on a daily, we failed to break any daily structure. We're still maintaining bullish. So I would still anticipate, we have a new daily higher high creation. We could get some short-term selling up in here. But I think inevitably once price comes down into these lower areas, we might be looking for more buys, right? Our first area of liquidity got attacked from those shorts we were looking at beginning of the week. But I think we're going to, end up creating, smaller time frame shorts to then inevitably get more buys. But yeah, that's really all I was looking for. Gold was the other thing. Originally, if you guys have been following along my go lives, you guys know I was looking for shorts in here. We got no price action to really give that sign for shorts. I'm just, the one thing that's really like, we did hit all-time highs. Well, some brokers did. I don't know why this one's kind of weird. On my broker, we ran above higher. But I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here with gold. I'm not going to just short because we're at all-time highs right now, but I'm going to be really paying attention to price action up in these areas. But overall, even today, I was looking for shorts originally, but there's some key things that I was looking for first. We had our FOMC news and all of that happened, but this is why, if you guys have not been studying volume and haven't been tuning into my streams or IFIs or Jordan's, we really dive into this on a day-to-day basis. But this was the main confirmation that I was talking about even on my stream as well, was it most likely for our news event for FOMC, we're going to see an absorption, right? And that's what we ended up getting, right? We have a high amount of selling, but we failed to break a low. So I was looking for buys after news hit. And, I averaged in here. And then once we made another high, I also got in here. So this was some nice buys. Now I'm just curious to see, where is this short going to come back to? Are we going to continue selling off and we're going to retest this area? Or, is the market going to stick somewhere in here tomorrow? It's really going to depend on that for me. I'm going to be paying attention to this candle as well. Maybe we do a stutter candle play, but I need more price action. Euro and gold, I'm really waiting for price action, but USD CAD, I would say, is kind of the banger I'm looking at the moment that I'm really paying attention to. But yeah, really this next hourly close, we got to close like this tomorrow in New York and everything. I'm going to be looking for something like that. But that's cooking up on my radar at the moment. It's all, honestly, it's been a solid week. Everything else we were looking at, like I said, gold hit what we were looking at today. We were, I was originally sell side, but it didn't give me the confirmation. So I didn't attempt sells and I got in buys today. So that was beautiful. So if you guys tapped in there, that was lit. Oh yeah. And the other thing was indices. I wanted to see shorts on that too, but 30 did me a little bit dirty, but that's how US 30 be sometimes, dirty 30. But yeah, that's really all I got cooking up right now. But yeah, y'all already know I'm going to be live Friday. Friday, after NFP and everything happens, we can then start to see what we can get for the next week as well. So I'm really, really amped for that. But it's been a fire week. I might be actually, taking it a little bit easy on my risk the next couple of days because I'm already, percentages, accounts are looking blessed right now. So the only thing I'm really looking at is USD CAD right now. Looks like my boy Iffy's looking at 2087 on gold. So that boy be sniping gold. So yeah, you already know if price develops, I'm gonna be looking for buys. It really depends. But I appreciate y'all, man, for having me on here. And yeah, I was literally about to say that, Caesar, and you popped it up as well. But I'm gonna be running my YouTube live tomorrow in the Rising as well. So we will be able to see Euro News live tomorrow. So I'm gonna be, streaming for that. So
Sheesh.
yeah.
Just say that. Yeah, I already know. House rent, mortgage, the car rent, all that on UCAT tomorrow. You heard it here first on Money Heist.
Chill.
Lambo lots.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
well, at the end of the day, myself, Iffy, and Jordan are looking for the same thing. So y'all take what I said with that.
We'll do with that what you will. Nah, bro, appreciate you for the sauce. Appreciate you having on these calls. Family, unfortunately, it is midnight 08 here Eastern Standard Time. We've had you well on this call for an hour now. So really quick, make sure y'all hit our mentors YouTube link. As y'all already know, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. He is live being a servant, savage each and every day, whether it be through his own personal time here on YouTube or whether.
Yo, this is scary, bro.
What?
Yo, y'all need to subscribe right now. I don't want to see that. Somebody subscribe right
bro.
now. Someone right now.
Someone needs to subscribe right now. That number needs to change.
Oh, I got you. Boom!
There you go. All right, respect. That was scary, bro.
Pulled it up at the right time. Yo, appreciate every single one shot for tuning in, hopping in, being locked in with us each and every week because, thank you, Siva. You make Money Heist possible. Kevo, you keep me on my game making Money Heist possible. But it's all 33 students of y'all being locked in as well with us, making Money Heist possible week in and week out. Let's go. Real quick, Kev, I'll let you get to you can end this off. But make sure y'all are being subscribed to what's it called? Our Money Heist chat or Money Heist YouTube, where we do drop the recordings here. We do gotta change it up a bit, make it more a little Money Heist theme. But the recordings are dropped here, so make sure you are subscribing as well. Right, tuned in, tapped in with the ghost. But I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in. Yo, Kev, any last words, bro? Any last questions?
Nah, man. Yeah, man. There's another episode of Money Heist, baby. And man, I'm happy to have you guys here every single week. We're gonna see you guys next week. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll make some content for YouTube. We'll see. Maybe some IG content. I don't know. But stay tuned, fam. Let's get it until next time. Have a blessed evening. Ciao.